So Peter, we are at ADA in Broederstroom and we've come here to come and test drive and put the new Suzuki Jimny through its paces.
This is a vehicle I've really been looking forward to driving. It's hugely popular, so I've got very high expectations of it.
A couple of things come to mind. Iconic,
Yep.
cult following, third generation car. It's unbelievable.
And it comes with everything that you need in terms of proper 4x4.
I want to show you three very interesting things quickly. The round lights, okay, that round light, the slits here in the front grille, and these two lines, let me go this side, sorry. These two lines here, very, very arbitrary, but that ties this into the second and first generation Jimny.
So they've retained a lot of heritage
Absolutely.
in this third generation Jimny.
All right, so I think what we need to do is get in the... We don't need to talk, we want to drive.
Well, I think before we drive, let's do a little bit of a walk around and then we'll jump in the vehicle.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so let's go back to the lights. One of the impressive things that I experienced on this, because I have driven this at night.
Yeah.
On the GLX model, we've got LED headlights. And
Yes.
I must say that I think that a lot of road users that were behind me and in front of me must have thought that this was a much bigger vehicle because these lights are incredible. So fantastic lights that we've got over
Good
here.
to hear.
On the side, we've obviously got very, very nice alloy wheels. We've got a decent ride height, and we're going to put this through its paces on the 4x4 track just now. But other things to notice is that a very short front, which is going to give us a nice entry angle,
Correct.
a nice crossover angle or dwell angle because of the ride height. Plus, by the way, did you know that this is a shorter vehicle than the previous generation?
Correct. I think it's 45 millimeters wider, but I think it's 50 millimeters shorter than the previous model.
And then, obviously, a very short hangover on the rear, so our exit or departure angles are going to be huge on this vehicle. And between that and the 4x4 system that we've got on here with low range and a transfer case, I can't wait to see what this vehicle does on the track.
Right, so I think let's get into the car, take it out on the road first, and when we come back here, I've got a little something for you.
Okay, can't wait.
Shotgun.
All right, so Fonny, we are in the sensational Suzuki Jimny, and the first impression that I've got of this vehicle getting inside it is that it feels a lot bigger on the interior than it looks from the outside.
Absolutely, and I think something that a lot of people mentions when they actually, get their first experience with the Jimny, taking it for a first test drive or coming to the dealership floor to have a look at it, it does look small, but it's not.
Yeah,
We're more than comfortable. So no, definitely a lot of space in this car. Right, so what we thought we'd do is we'd come out and also just experience it on the road.
Yeah, so for me, one of the things that I wanted to experience for myself is what type of road noise are we going to get from the vehicle and wind noise.
And that's something that I want to chirp in there quickly, sorry. It's a very boxy, square type of vehicle, so we did expect quite a bit of wind noise.
It's a boxy vehicle, it's also got big wing mirrors, and wing mirrors attract wind noise generally, but I got to say, again, in this drive and in the driving that I've had, which has included being on the highway,
Yes.
I haven't had any wind noise.
Which is a plus.
Which is a major plus.
Right, so we're on the tar road now, we're going at about 100 kilometers an hour. Power to weight ratio, what do you think?
I think it's a small engine, it's a small car. We've got to manage our expectations in terms of performance. So it's not a very powerful motor, but what I did notice with this when I drove it was that the motor is incredibly torquey.
Yes.
So I could at very low revs pull off in second gear.
Correct.
I didn't have to make many gear changes to compensate for uphills, for example. So a nice torquey motor, but not a fast motor. But again,
I'm not feeling that I'm underpowered right now.
Correct. Yeah.
So I think for the application on road, more than enough.
More than enough. And then in terms of the stability of the vehicle as well, I also, when I first saw the car, and I've driven the previous generation Jimny, my expectations were that it's going to be quite an unstable vehicle on the road, especially given the fact that it does have a solid front and solid rear axle.
Yes.
In true 4x4 form. But to me, I found it very stable. It's a nice soft suspension, so it's not bone jarring when we go over the bumps and that type of thing. So very, very impressive.
Okay, so my next sort of question to you would be is this just a toy? Is this just a weekend car? Or is this a car that we can actually drive every day and enjoy on weekends?
I think that's part of the secret to the Jimny and its overall success over the years, is that it can indeed be both. With the fuel consumption that we get out of it, I could be quite happy actually using this as a daily commute. It's nice and comfortable.
Yeah.
I've got all the features that I want. So I've got a touchscreen infotainment system that's got Google Play and Android Auto on it, which we're connected to now. It's got everything that I want in the vehicle. It's got
steering wheel controls, it's got cruise control.
It's got cruise control, 100%.
Bluetooth connectivity at my fingertips.
Oh, there's another one.
Here's another Jimny car.
Probably going to wave at us because that's what they do. There we go. They wave at us. So I think this is a very balanced vehicle.
Yeah.
The only thing it's not going to be is a big family car.
Correct.
But that's not what it's designed for.
I think all in all, a flippin' pretty good job. But what I think we need to do is now go and see the secondary application and go take it 4x4ing. And I've got a surprise for you.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I've got a challenge.
What is this? Is this guess the car again, or you?
No. You might just win this one, but I'm pretty interested to see what's going to happen.
All right, excellent.
So let's get back to that track.
Cool.
Well, Pete, I am just blown away.
That really was awesome.
It exceeds every expectation in every way that I possibly could.
Well, I think we can already see, without even having gone into the 4x4 track yet, why this car is so popular.
Absolutely. We've done what we came here to do, but now I've got that challenge that I spoke about. Okay, so I've always wondered that these guys driving cars off-road, they're either experts or driving instructors or media guys, they've got experience, okay? Yeah. So what I want to do today is I want to put you up against a complete novice.
All right, fair enough, yeah.
First of all, novice. Secondly, chick. Thirdly, blonde.
Yeah, funny. You're walking on thin ice there, my friend.
Don't stress, Pete. It's my wife.
Excellent.
All right, so what we're going to do, Pete, is we're going to put Nadia up against you, all right? 3 obstacles with a Jimny, and I'd like to see what happens.
Excellent. Looking forward to it.
Let's go.
Let's go. So Nadia, we're going to do 3 obstacles. The first one is quite a nice one. It's quite a daunting one actually, because we can't really see down, and it's nice and steep. But what we're going to test here on this vehicle, first of all, it's got hill descent control. So if I press that button, you'll see hill descent control come on the cluster there, and that controls literally the vehicle on the way down without us having to touch the brake or the accelerator.
Okay.
The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into 4 low.
Okay.
So let's just get in, that's 4 high, push down, and this time I'm going to make sure it's in 4 low, and when we go over I'm going to let go the brake and the accelerator. So clutch out.
Wow, fast.
And you could hear the brakes coming on a little bit there. Okay, so now we're going to go up. Bit of a slide there.
Wow.
But I mean, you can see how wicked this little Jimny is. It handled that with absolute ease. Now the second one, we're going to test the hill start assist. So I'm going to stop halfway up here, like that.
Okay.
Now normally we'd have to put the handbrake on, but now I'm just going to pull off, and the brakes are going to hold for 2 seconds to allow me time to coordinate
Your clutch control.
my clutch control.
Sheesh.
And once again, clutch out, foot off the brake, and off we go.
Wow.
Okay, now this second one
That's good.
is combining a whole lot of tough tests for the vehicle, so let's give it a shot here. one of the things that's going to happen is we're going to lose traction on one of the wheels, and you're going to feel the electronic differential come into play here. So the wheel's going to spin, and I just keep constant pressure on the accelerator,
Okay.
and the brake binds, and it sends power to the other wheel, and off we go. Okay, now this over here, we're going to tilt the vehicle over. Now this doesn't
If
test
you're gonna fall over.
how far we can tilt before the vehicle falls over. It actually tests how far we can tilt the vehicle before we starve the engine of oil.
Okay.
So that's
it's a
actually its
mechanical
limiting
thing.
factor, yeah. Rather than whether the vehicle's going to fall over. Right, this last one is what we call an axle twister. So we just got to keep a consistent speed, but what's nice here is we're going to get wheels up in the air quite a lot.
Hold on
So
to this
nice
one.
consistent speed, yeah, hold on to the grab handles. And again, you can hear the brakes working. So it's sending power to the other wheels so that we can carry on going.
Wow. It's quite scary.
Alright, so I'm going to just line up the vehicle for you over here.
Okay.
Alright, your
Let's
turn.
do it. Let's try. Safety first.
Alright, so remember, once we've got over the crest,
Okay.
foot off the
Brake.
brake, and your clutch must be completely out.
Okay.
Okay,
Is
so
it
we-
already in the?
So we're in full
Full low.
and your hill start,
Is on.
your hill descent control is on,
Okay.
so the vehicle will control itself.
Okay. Let's go.
Clutch off, handbrake off.
Handbrake ultra low.
Okay, clutch out fully, off the brake. That's it. And the vehicle controls itself.
And just now halfway through petrol. Yes.
Okay, now give it some petrol. Perfect.
Bit of a slide, just like you had.
Right, now once we get onto this next obstacle, I want you to stop halfway.
Okay, we'll try it. We'll see.
Okay, so stop there. Right, now what would normally happen is if we stalled, for example, which happens,
Yeah.
we're in a manual and we stalled, you'd either have to put the car in reverse and roll back,
Yes.
but we've got hill start assist. So the brakes are going to bind for you for 2 seconds to help you coordinate your pull off.
Okay.
So off you go.
Okay.
Here we go. Perfect. Look at that.
Okay, it wasn't bad.
Not bad at all.
I mean, this is easy.
Right, now is a nice test.
Okay. You're gonna tell me when to turn.
I will tell you when to
So we
turn,
don't bump
yeah.
anything by accident.
Okay, keep going straight. Okay, now turn hard left. That's it. Now you can start straightening up. And when you feel the wheels lock,
Like that.
keeps consistent acceleration and it binds the brake, transfers power to the other wheel, and you maintain your traction.
It wasn't too bad.
Yeah, not too bad, eh?
Easy peasy. Put it back. Okay, let's go. Let's do this.
Okay, let's tilt the vehicle nicely now. It just feels
This is not
weird.
natural.
That
This
you,
is
you,
not
it
natural.
feels counterintuitive. You feel like the vehicle's going to roll over. Yeah.
Okay, wheels straight.
Wheel straight. You can actually turn a little bit left, and then you can make it round in one go. So you can start turning left.
What's the turning circle for this car like?
Well, in full low, it's not. None
It's
of them are great,
nice.
but
Okay.
it's normally very good. Yeah. Okay, so now we just maintain a consistent speed here.
Okay,
So now you can
idle.
feather your clutch and your brake as you want. And
Okay.
when you lose traction, don't stress. Once again, the traction control is going to kick in. The brake will bind the wheel and transfer power to the other side.
Okay. Like that.
There you go. You can hear it and you can feel it. Eh?
Yeah, it doesn't sound good.
It sounds very mechanical, but that's the ABS pump that's actually opening and closing, and it's quite an aggressive feel. Well, there you go. Amazing stuff.
A lot of fun. Awesome.
Well done. Sure. Are you sure this is only your first time?
Promise.
All right, guys, how was that?
Oh, that was awesome, I got to say.
How did she go?
Brilliantly. I mean, think about it. It's Nadia's first time in a vehicle of this type.
Yeah.
First time on a 4x4 track, and she aced it.
Awesome. Okay, so first time off-road, first time in this car. My point that I wanted to say and wanted to make was that the Suzuki Jimny is actually the hero here.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, it makes both of us look awesome. Hey.
Okay, so let's give it a rating quickly. I'm going to give it a solid 11 out of 10.
Sure. Okay, your maths is a bit challenged there. I mean, you're more than 100%, but I can actually understand why. You know, in its segment, and remember our ratings are always in their segment.
Correct.
I've got to say there's nothing that even comes close to this. So I'm with you on that 11 out of 10.
Okay, and on that bombshell, we'll see you again next week.
Cheers, guys.